Let's first discuss the pulse modes, which consist of 3 different modes, referred to as Pulse 1, Pulse 2, and Pulse 3. Pulse 1 has more options available. Among these options, we can see the first, third, and fourth settings. First, aesthetic surgery. Third, ear, nose, and throat procedures. Fourth, general surgery. The adjustments for these 3 settings depend on the intensity required by the physician. You can also set the laser start and end times accordingly. Power settings. The power can be understood as ranging from 1 watt to 40 watts, allowing for a broad adjustment range based on your specific needs. Understanding laser start and end times. The laser start time refers to how quickly the output occurs. A smaller value means slower output. When the start time is small, the output is slower. When it's larger, the output is faster. For example, when we observe the points being emitted, they appear as individual dots rather than a continuous pattern. As you move your hand, the output will follow your movement to that specific location. When the output is slow, you can see distinct points. When it's fast with a maximum setting of 1000, the points connect together to form a cutting edge. This is particularly relevant for aesthetic surgery operations. If the speed is too fast, it becomes challenging to control. Adjustments should be made based on the physician's preferences and required power levels. Understanding end time. The end time refers to how long a beam stays at one position. Longer exposure causes more diffusion of light beyond that point. The longer the laser end time, the larger the point becomes. Thus, a larger value results in a thicker point. When this value is small, the point remains relatively fine. So even if the cutting tool creates thin lines, a larger value produces wider cuts. This is how end time can be adjusted and controlled within its range. The slow mode can be utilized with this head set to f equals 100 during operation. When removing or installing this head, it's crucial to ensure that the blue aviation connector at the back remains attached. This must not be removed. Now let's proceed with using this head for demonstration purposes with repeated pulses. Repeated pulses. This means multiple points will be emitted simultaneously. In contrast, single pulse means only one point will be emitted. Even if you keep pressing the foot pedal continuously, only one point will appear until you press it again for a second point. Continuous pulses refer to when it acts as a cutting tool directly without needing many other adjustments. Only power needs to be set. Now let's demonstrate multiple pulses at 10 watts while keeping everything else at 0, since those settings do not require adjustments. As we initiate this demonstration with multiple pulses, we will see it flash continuously at one point. We can hear the sound produced by this output. It consists of individual points forming multiple pulses. Each point represents one pulse, therefore, when selecting single pulse mode, only one point will be emitted after pressing once. If you continue pressing without releasing, no additional points will emit until you press again for another output. Now let's look at continuous pulses at 10 watts of power. Other settings remain unchanged and do not need adjustment. The continuous pulse has already cut through completely without further adjustments needed. Thus, what we need to focus on now is understanding multiple pulses or repeated pulses clearly. Once these settings are configured correctly, we can access the corresponding folder for further actions.